the battle for Belagavi that has been on since independence between Karnataka and Maharashtra. Now, this border dispute may date back to independence, but that doesn't mean that politicians aren't bickering about it today. Belgaum, renamed as Belagavi, is currently a part of Karnataka, but Maharashtra also stakes claim to it. So what has happened recently? Why are we talking about this today? It started with comments made by Karnataka's Chief Minister, Basavaraj Bommai. He claimed that villages in Jat Tehsil of Sangli were part of Karnataka. This was after Maharashtra's Chief Minister Eknath Shinde promising pension to freedom fighters from Belagavi and other parts being claimed by Maharashtra. To counter this, Mr. Bommai offered special grants to Kannada medium schools in Maharashtra and announced pension to Kannadigas in Maharashtra who fought for the unification of the state. Now, Mr. Fadnavis is saying his government is committed to acquiring Marathi-speaking villages along the border. He has upped the ante, saying that the government will not cede even an inch of land. A very strong remark, to say the least. Listen in.
2012ची मागणी आहे. आता जे काही कर्नाटकचे मुख्यमंत्री या ठिकाणी बोलले, मुळातच आपल्याला कल्पना आहे या सीमावादाच्या प्रश्नावर आपल्या मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी बैठक घेतल्यानंतर आणि अतिशय महत्त्वाचे निर्णय आपण घेतले आणि त्यामध्ये सीमा भागातले आपले जे लोक आहेत त्यांना पूर्ण मदत करायचं आपण ठरवलं. त्यांच्याकरता सगळ्या योजना सुरू करायच्या आपण ठरवल्या. ते चालू होत्याच, पण काय ॲडिशनल योजना करायच्या ठरवल्या. त्यामुळे मला असं वाटतं की कर्नाटकच्या मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी असं स्टेटमेंट दिलं असावं, एकही गाव महाराष्ट्रातलं कुठे जाणार नाहीये, पण आम्ही माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालयात लढून आमचे जे बेळगाव, कारवार, निपाणी सहित जे आमचे गाव आहेत ते सगळे आम्ही मिळवण्याचा पूर्ण प्रयत्न करणार आहोत.
तीव्र शब्दांमध्ये निषेध करतो. वास्तविक ह्या संदर्भात कर्नाटकच्या मुख्यमंत्र्यांचं जे स्टेटमेंट आलेलं आहे ते महाराष्ट्रातल्या जनतेला अजिबात आवडलेलं नाही. आम्ही हे अजिबात सहन करणार नाही. कर्नाटकचे मुख्यमंत्री हे भाजपचे आहेत, महाराष्ट्राचे उपमुख्यमंत्री भाजपचे आहेत. त्यांनी त्या बाबतीमध्ये एकत्र बसून नक्की काय महाराष्ट्राच्या बद्दलची भूमिका आहे आणि कर्नाटकच्या मुख्यमंत्र्यांनी याबद्दलचे जे वक्तव्य केलेले आहे की जत तालुक्यातल्या 40 गावांवर त्यांनी काही दावा वगैरे सांगितलेला आहे, ह्याबद्दल सरकार काय भूमिका घेणार हे ठोस महाराष्ट्रातल्या जनतेला कळलं पाहिजे.
Okay, let's understand what exactly this dispute is about. During independence, states were divided based on linguistic lines. Belgaum was then part of the erstwhile Bombay presidency. But things changed with the State Reorganization Act of 1956. Belgaum and surrounding villages were included in the Mysore princely state, which is today's Karnataka. But the problem here was its makeup. Now, according to the 1881 census, 64% people in Belagavi were Kannada speakers, while only 26% people spoke Marathi. This was the basis of the allocation of Belagavi to Karnataka, because more people spoke Kannada here than Marathi. But this wasn't the case in 1956. Marathi speakers by then outnumbered Kannada speakers in these areas. Now, Maharashtra contested this demarcation based on that statistic. The Mahajan Commission was set up by the Government of India in October 1966 to look into this border dispute. But there was no solution. Decades have passed. There is no Mysore princely state or the Bombay princely state, but the dispute continues. Belgaum has become Belagavi, but it is still at the center of a border dispute between Karnataka and Maharashtra. What do we make of this border dispute? And more importantly, is this really a border dispute, or is this politicians in Maharashtra specifically playing to the gallery? That is something that I'm going to be putting to my guests who are joining me this evening. Ali Daruwala is spokesperson of the Maharashtra BJP, joining us on the broadcast. Ali, good to have you on the show. S.S. Sriram is a political analyst with us on the show as well. Good to have you. Vaibhav Purandare is a senior editor, Times of India. Sajid Supariwala is leader of the Shiva Sena. He joins us on the broadcast. And Syed Asad Abbas is a political analyst, joining us on the broadcast as well from Karnataka. Ali Daruwala, the obvious first question is going to come to you, and it's going to come to you because the BJP is in power in Karnataka, the BJP is in power in Maharashtra. So you have two BJP governments dragging each other to court over a question that has largely been settled in these last 50, 60 years?
Ma'am, thank you for inviting us to represent ourselves on the Maharashtra border issue with Karnataka. Firstly, I'd like to make the stand of Maharashtra BJP very clear. Karnataka and Maharashtra are two neighbors. They are from the same country. We are the same citizens of the country. We are not enemies. And whatever is the dispute and whatever is the other panelists who are going to represent the other parties, we are one nation. And in this country, we are not enemies at all. Whatever is the dispute, ma'am, as we proceed in the debate, I will make it very clear the stand of our Deputy CM, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, is we are not going to let 1 inch of land go. But this is not going to be on the power of force. It is going to be a total legitimate fight in the Supreme Court of India. And we will represent ourselves in the Supreme Court of India, and we will take it from there rather than having debates and fighting, because they are not aliens. They are my brother nation people who are part of the same nation. Yeah.
Yes, of course, they are part of the same nation, but I want to understand from you, from the BJP, why are you revisiting Belagavi over and over again? I ask you this because, as I said, the Mahajan Commission has settled the question.
Correct. The reason why
Belagavi is with Karnataka. It is a district of Karnataka. So why, something that has already been settled? It's not like Belagavi has been given to Pakistan or to China. Belagavi has been given to a state that neighbors your state, Karnataka, very much part of the Indian Union. Then why drag the matter to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, ma'am, just to set the record right on this national television, the issue is not for Belagavi. It is the Jat province, Sangli, where the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka has claimed to say that he's going to give pension and soaps to the people who have laid down their lives during the partition time. And it has erupted because of the village in Sangli. It is not the Belagavi issue which has come up right now. After the statement, Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka made this, we had a meeting in the Sayadri guest house where it was attended by the committee members who are from all the parties in Maharashtra, and it was a resolution that was passed that we will take this very systematically to the doors of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So just to set the record right, it's not the Belagavi issue, it is the Jat province in Sangli, which is part of Maharashtra. Back to the studio.
Well, I think we need to get in. Okay, thank you very much. We need to get in Vaibhav Purandare here. Vaibhav, just help us understand what this current dispute is. We have Mr. Ali Daruwala. This is not about Belagavi. This actually is about that Jat village in Sangli. The impression I got is that the two are taking each other to court over what? Over this one village? Help us understand what this dispute is and why we are currently, debating it.
Okay. Firstly, this new controversy has arisen because the case that is in the Supreme Court, which Maharashtra has filed for the inclusion of Belgaum into Maharashtra, was going to be heard in the Supreme Court. And it was in the context of that hearing that there was a meeting in Maharashtra. And when the Maharashtra government met and the legal team discussed this issue, and the CM was there, others were there, certain decisions were made to help Marathi-speaking people in Belgaum, and certain pronouncements were made. And Bommai said in response to that we will ask for the merger of certain villages in Sangli, in Jat, in Sangli, with Karnataka, because there are a majority of Kannadigas speakers there who have resolved a decade ago that they want to join Karnataka because they did not get water supply and basic supply. So in anger, the Gram Panchayat had passed a resolution saying that they wanted to join Karnataka. Now, this was an issue that Bommai deliberately raked up in view of Maharashtra's meeting on the legal issue. And it was an entirely unwarranted statement, I would say, that Bommai made, because it suddenly increased tensions on the issue. Now, this has been an issue which has, where tensions have been festering for more than 6 decades now. There have been sporadic clashes. There have been people who have died on both sides of the border. People have died in Mumbai in 1969. People died in Belgavi in the 1980s, and there are clashes, there are attacks on buses on either side of the divide. And it is, of course, in the interest of politicians to keep this issue festering. But it was simply a matter of the Maharashtra legal team meeting with the politicians. And Bommai seems to have unnecessarily really raked up this issue and increased tensions. But of course, it is linked to the Belgavi issue as much as it is to the Jat issue, because he raised the issue of Jat in the context of the Belgavi dispute. So it is not true that it's only about Jat. It's about
Correct.
the larger border dispute that exists.
Correct. And the matter is in the Supreme Court because Maharashtra is in the Supreme Court over Belagavi. Why is Maharashtra, in the Supreme Court over Belagavi? Sajid Supariwala, what is the stand of the Shiva Sena? If it has been decided by the reorganization committee, by the Mahajan Commission, that Belagavi is a district in Karnataka, is part of Karnataka, why not just accept it and move on? Why continue to fester this trouble, this problem, this acrimony over 50 years, 60 years, 70 years?
First, let me tell you that BJP spokesperson, Mr. Ali Daruwala, very beautifully decorated the words that India as whole, Belgavi is a part of India. Maharashtra, see that this is a Republic of India, so it contains and it has 26 states, as everybody knows. So the states are definitely a part of India, but that does not mean that the people who have struggled for Maharashtra's development and people who have done so much for the Maharashtra's development will just let a piece of Maharashtra let go to some other state. Like that, then there's what is the point of having states around India? India as a whole is a republic.
But where is it?
So
where
all the
where is
states
it a
should be
state
given
of
the
Maharashtra? Mr. Supariwala, where is it a state of Maharashtra? The government of India in its wisdom has decided that it is now a district of Karnataka. So where is it a state of, where is it a district of Maharashtra?
Let me complete. Why should Maharashtra let go of an inch of Maharashtra also? You said that it is already under dispute. If it is not under dispute, that it would not be under court, right? The court order, we are waiting for the proper justice. As per Mr. Ali Darwala also said, the courts will decide that it is because it is a part of India only. Definitely it is a part of India. But if like that, then what is the point of having states, having state governments? The state government has to look after the interest of the state. So when you are looking for the interest of the state, why let an inch go to another state? That is my question. Is it fair for the people
you're not making sense here. No, you're not making.
No, 1 minute.
You're not making sense here.
I'm trying to elaborate on my point. Let me continue. What I'm trying to tell you is that what do you mean to say by that this is not a part of Maharashtra? Just by declaring it as not a state of part of Maharashtra state, then why let go of it? Doesn't Maharashtra state have the right to not let go of a piece of land to some other state, to Karnataka? My question is only that. I am not disputing the fact.
It was not theirs to begin with.
Please tell me. No, I told you. I told him asking Mr. Ali Daruwala the same question, and you also, that what does it mean that we should let go of Belagavi?
Mr. Daruwala?
You mean to say that?
No, where is Mr. Ali Daruwala saying this? Don't put him in a spot. He said completely the opposite. Whether you want to come in here? I don't understand the logic that the NCP person is giving here. 1 minute. Let Vaibhav come in. Vaibhav?
Shreya, how the matter landed in the Supreme Court. What happened was that when the Mahajan Commission was set up, the assumption that the Maharashtra government had was that because states were founded on a linguistic basis, the commission would look at the numbers of Marathi-speaking people and Kannadiga-speaking people in the various areas and decide which area went to which state. Now, the odd thing was that the Mahajan Commission took its own time and decided that many of the areas which had a majority of Marathi speakers went to Karnataka, including Belgavi, which had a majority of Marathi speakers at that point in time. And many areas which had a majority of Kannada speakers went to Maharashtra. So this was a very strange logic. And Maharashtra, of course, rejected that report outright. But the problem, the weak point for Maharashtra was that when the Mahajan Commission was being set up, the Mysore state, as it was called then, had completely opposed the setting up of the commission itself, whereas Maharashtra had spoken out in favor of the commission, saying that whatever decision the commission would take, it would accept. And the contradiction then that happened was that after the report went against Maharashtra, as far as Belgavi was concerned, Maharashtra politicians were completely shocked and they rejected the report. Now, in repeatedly, the Belgavi Municipal Corporation from the 1980s onwards passed resolutions for a merger of the city and the Belgavi district with Maharashtra. In 2005, when the last resolution was passed, the Karnataka government cracked down on the Belgavi Municipal Corporation and dissolved the corporation in what Maharashtra described was an unconstitutional and undemocratic act. And there was violence in various areas, and some Maharashtra Ekikaran Samiti supporters and corporators were beaten up. It was at this point that Maharashtra decided to move the Supreme Court in 2005 and 6. That there was no political solution anywhere in sight, and Maharashtra felt that the matter needs to go to the Supreme Court. Maharashtra had also offered an alternative solution, some parties had, which was to say that we will give a new Belgavi to Karnataka. There's a railway line that divides Belgavi city. One part of that city can go to Maharashtra, the other part can go to Karnataka, and Maharashtra will build the new Belgavi at its own cost, at the Maharashtra government's own cost. Now, the Karnataka government obviously said the issue is over once the Mahajan Commission has decided in favor of Karnataka. So this is how the issue landed in court. It was after the 2005 Belgavi City Civic Corporation's resolution and the dissolution of that local body by the Karnataka government that things really became very tense. So I'm surprised that political spokespersons. I'm surprised that spokespersons of political parties who claim to speak for native Marathi speakers are completely unaware even of the context of the entire dispute.
And SS Sriram, let me bring you in here. Mr. Sriram, then my sense is that there could easily have been a political solution. Yes, the matter is in the Supreme Court right now, and maybe it gets decided by the Supreme Court. But, you know, here you have the BJP, which is at the center. You have the BJP, which is in Karnataka. You have the BJP, which is in Maharashtra. Where is the problem finding a political solution? You know, does a political solution become inconvenient in many ways? Because then you have nothing to talk about and nothing to whip up sentiments about.
Good evening, Shreya. We not only have border disputes, we also have water disputes between Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. We do have multiple disputes such as this. And almost most of the politicians will try to milk the situation to their benefit, which we have seen in the past. They don't seem to, we will talk about India, we'll talk about one nation, but then after all, every people have the right to live. So as far as this is concerned, I'm sure the chief ministers of the day, the respective states would like to keep their political future intact. So they will try to do their best to protect the states. These situations, like what happened with the Assam Meghalaya pact, I guess the center and the Supreme Court are the only authorities who could step in and then give in a proper solution. I mean, being a same party, I don't think that is going to be an advantage, because after all of them have their own political futures, because the opposition of the respective states will be at their neck. So I think a neutral, person should come in and say, this is what, like what happened in Assam. I'm sure that is what Maharashtra and Karnataka should look forward to.
You know, what has happened with Assam, and this is the worrying part, and come in here, Syed Asad Abbas, 8 months ago, Assam and Meghalaya had actually drummed out a solution. At least of the 12 areas that were under dispute, there was a solution for 6. It was signed and sealed. And yet you saw what we saw 72 hours ago, where the police of one state opens fire at citizens of another state, ending in the death of 6 people, and the Chief Minister of Assam saying that these were smugglers who had come in, and the police actually was defending itself. So, you know, one hopes that that situation doesn't, I mean, we don't come to that situation, at least as far as Maharashtra and Karnataka are concerned. But does the response of the BJP sound a bit confused to you?
Just confusing, but to me it sounds absolutely clueless. They are not even aware of what the subject is all about. The fact of the matter here is we need to understand what happened in, the dispute between Assam and Meghalaya is absolutely shameful. I think the respective leaders of the parties of BJP need to understand, be it Basavaraj Bommai of my state of Karnataka or even uh, Fadnavis of Maharashtra, our honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji, when I took great pride in the fact that we will be hosting the next G20 summit. And what is the motto? What is the theme? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We speak of one world, one family. I think these two respective leaders or the other leaders, like Himanta Biswa Sarma himself, needs to take note from Modi ji. This dispute which is taking place is very unfortunate. But what are they doing? Instead of amicably coming on ground to resolve, they say, I will not see 1 inch of land. Look at the language here. On one end, the BJP spokesperson says that no, all is well within them and all of that. But instead, you're playing lawyer in the Supreme Court. Irrespective of the intervention of the Supreme Court to handle the issue, we must understand that this is one glorified nation which needs to come together. The beautiful federal structure needs to be intact.
Okay.
But being in the same party, not being able to resolve the same issues, you want to rule as a center and state. There needs to be better wisdom which needs to prevail in the BJP of Karnataka and the Maharashtra. More importantly, Shreya ji, there needs to be an intention
Okay.
and there needs to be a political will to resolve this matter. Otherwise, which we will see what happened in Assam and Meghalaya happening here in Karnataka or Maharashtra, which is highly shameful. Will Himanta Biswa Sarma say the same if something happened to his closed ones? Innocent lives have been lost, and he does not condemn this. It's absolutely shameful and hurtful. But on the same line, he has something to say. Rahul Gandhi resembles a Saddam Hussein. This is the shameful level of politics that we have come to. And I thank you, Shreya ji, for doing stories that matter to citizens of this country. It is time that Karnataka, Maharashtra, and those
Okay.
borderline states, our brothers and sisters who are living there, needs to be resolved. Otherwise, which this will lead to a catastrophe of sorts, which is very unfortunate.
Okay. Vaibhav, you know, I'm going to give you the last word since you understand Maharashtra very well. Uh, in the northeast, all neighbors of Assam have had border issues with Assam. Uh, the battle has been bloody very often than not. We've seen the escalation. We've seen the escalation 72 hours ago at the border with Meghalaya. We understand that the matter between Karnataka and Maharashtra is in court right now, but is there an escalation on the ground that you foresee?
Yes, very much. There possibly could be an escalation, and there have been sporadic clashes on the issue. And one thing we must be very clear about, that the courts cannot provide a solution to this question. What the Supreme Court is, I cannot anticipate what the Supreme Court does, of course, none of us can. But in all likelihood, the Supreme Court is going to say that Article 3 and Article 4 of the Indian Constitution make it abundantly clear that the business of drawing up boundaries of states belongs to Parliament and not to the courts. So there's nothing that the court is going to do here. Okay. Now this is a legal battle that's going to take its time and all of that, and parties are going to buy time. The solution has to be political. It has to be social, and the BJP is on a particularly sticky wicket here, because the BJP has been speaking for years in favor of smaller states, and for some time it's spoken of an independent Vidarbha state as well. So there is a trust deficit in Maharashtra as far as the BJP is concerned, especially on the Maharashtra Karnataka border dispute. And now you are right in saying that the BJP is in power at the center and in both states. So it has to take the initiative to find a solution. That does not mean the BJP itself is only the BJP is to be blamed, because when things flared up in 2005, Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, and the Congress was in power in Maharashtra, and the Congress was in power in Karnataka.
Center.
And the
Absolutely.
Home Minister of India was Shivraj Patil, who changed his elegant suits 5 times a day at
Correct.
least, and especially when there were terror attacks in India. On a day, there were terror attacks in India. So political parties have failed across the spectrum, but this is a golden opportunity, in fact, for the center and the two states to sit together, for the home minister, for the prime minister and the chief ministers and deputy chief ministers of both states to sit together and firstly resolve that there should be no escalation of this conflict, because it should not turn into a bloody conflict. It used to be a bloody conflict. It's no longer a bloody conflict, fortunately, but any day it can get out of control. And our primary responsibility is to ensure that it does not get out of control and that there's a
Sure.
resolution. That resolution has to be a political one.
You're right. The resolution has to be a political one. And what better time than now? You have the same party which is at the center in Karnataka and in Maharashtra. So why should the court be taking the lead? Why not the political dispensation? Why do we vote for them? Why do we choose them in the first place? We leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Vaibhav. Always good to have you on the show and get perspective on the story that is playing out in Maharashtra. Ali Daruwala, thank you very much. S.S. Sriram, good to have you. Sajid Supariwala, good to have you. And Syed Asad Abbas joining us from Bangalore. Thank you very much as well. I'm slipping into a quick break.